put the call out all over Dufferin County for youth aged 8 to 17 to choose from a curated list of monologues selected from the works of a diverse group of Canadian playwrights. These works highlighted a vast array of topics, including bullying, grief, racism, climate change, discrimination, neurodiversity, identity, and more. Tonight, you'll be introduced to 7 of these plays through the perspectives of 9 young voices. Contestants were invited to film their monologue performances and submit them online in the hopes of winning a $1,000 grand prize. 9 of Dufferin County's finest young people have now emerged from their peers as the finalists for the first ever word of mouth monologue competition. I'm your host, Andrew James, and I'm here at the beautiful and historic Grace Tippling Hall in Shelburne, Ontario. Ever since my debut on my high school stage as Leroy in the 1980s hit musical Fame, I've been witness to the power of the stage. That's why we created this competition. The Word of Mouth Monologue Competition is brought to you by Streams Community Hub, an art-centered, youth-focused, registered charity based in Shelburne and founded by my wife Julianne and I. We are on a mission to ignite learning, inspire youth, and enrich the community through the arts. We hope that you would indeed be enriched by the performances that you are about to see, and that you would partner with us in our efforts to create valuable opportunities for young people to shine, thrive, and grow. You could donate to Streams at any point by visiting our website at streamshub.org. Thank you in advance for your support. Tonight, you'll be introduced to 7 of these plays through the perspectives of 9 young voices. The competition tonight is broken into 2 age categories. 8 to 12 are juniors and 13 to 17 are seniors. Our 9 finalists will deliver their performances live before our panel of 3 judges who will crown the first ever word of mouth monologue champions. We'll start with our junior category. First up, Callie Reed, who takes on the role of Meredith in Instant by Aaron Shields. In Instant, 3 teens find out how far they'll go in their quest to be seen and heard. Meredith is a singer-songwriter who makes YouTube videos of covers in an attempt to gain instant fame.
Well, my name is Callie Reed, and I will be playing the role of Meredith from the play Instant. I heard about this competition from our school. It was on our announcements every day, and then I seen what the prize was, so then I wanted to do it.
Congratulations, honey. You've made it on to the next round. What do you think? Is it awesome or what?
Yeah.
You did great. You should be proud of yourself.
If I won the $1,000 prize, I would buy chicken coop and chickens. Our school has done a few plays before, and I've been in those. I just kept practicing my monologue over and over again and reading it and saying it to my mom. Yesterday at the rehearsal, I learned some good tips, like to slow down and pause in some parts and stuff. I'm feeling excited and nervous.
Guess who's first, Callie?
Hello, my name is Callie Reed, and I will be playing the role of Meredith from the play Instant. I took piano lessons for most of my life, but never really thought about it as something I wanted to do. More like something my dad wanted me to do. He'd be like, "Keep it up, Meredith. You never know when you're gonna need a little bit of music in your life." And I'd say, "Fine," but practicing was so boring, so I kept bugging him to let me stop. And finally, my mom was like, if she doesn't want to do it, she doesn't have to do it. She needs to start taking responsibilities for her own decisions. And I'm like, finally. So my dad let me quit, but then one day I'm walking by the living room and I see the piano sitting there with the book open to Fugue in G minor. And my fingers start twitching and playing on my legs like this. And I can hear a little tune in my head like la, 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 la. So the next day at school, I'm like, "Jay, is this a song?" La 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 la. No, is it a song you know? Like, have you ever heard it before? La 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 la. And that day I run home from school and go to my piano and this song just like flies out of me. And that's when I really start to see it. A crowd of people out there looking up at me and cheering and singing along, and I was going for it, just losing myself in words. And for the first time in my whole life, I know what I want.
Our next contestant is 10-year-old Lily Abbott from Orangeville. Lily will be playing Vince from the play Invisible Kids by Dennis Foon. In Invisible Kids, a group of children from a variety of backgrounds discover playground politics.
My name is Lily and I'm 10 years old. And I live in Orangeville and I was playing the part of Vince. I was doing monologues in my school and my teacher heard it on the radio and she posted a link to it on the class.
What do you think?
I'm not expecting somebody to get going.
That's awesome! Yay!
I'd read it over once and then my parents would take the script away and I'd have to see if I could memorize it. At the rehearsals I learned that it's better to be like moving around instead of just standing still. I was feeling really nervous through most of it. I'm feeling happy that it's over with and I've never done anything like it before. That's very new.
So when Lily came home and told us about the monologue competition, both my husband and I, Bob, were really surprised as she quite typically is a very shy and reserved girl. So we were really enthused and happy that she really chose to do something that is completely outside of her comfort zone. And so it opened up a lot of good discussions about pushing through boundaries, pushing through fears, and how that gives us character and helps us to move forward in life. So really happy at the opportunity and glad that she decided to do it.
Hi, my name is Lily Abbott and I'll be playing the part of Vince from the part Invisible Kids by Dennis Foon. Yesterday after school, walking home, there was this man walking his dog, a German Shepherd. He called me a name. The same thing he called her yesterday. He yelled, "Go back to your own country." I just kept walking, and then he yelled it again. "Go back to where you came from. But this is where I come from. This is my home. This is where I've always lived." He knew that. He didn't care. He didn't like who I was. Then he took the leash off of his big German Shepherd and sent it after me. It ran straight for me, snapping, barking, teeth so big, trying to bite me. So I ran. And it was right behind me. No! I jumped on top of a car. It just waited. Seemed like hours and it was getting late. My parents would wonder where I was. Then it looked like it was sleeping, just lying there. So I started to climb off the car. Quietly, cross the street. If I could just turn the corner, my house was just 2 streets away. When I got home and told my dad, he was furious. He ran out looking for that man, but he couldn't find him. I was afraid to go outside.
Next up, we hear from Ashley Robertson from Melanchthon in the role of Marnie McPhee from The Remarkable Flight of Marnie McPhee by Daniel Karasik. Convinced she is not like the rest of her boring family, 9-year-old Marnie McPhee decides it's time to leave Earth and take on her place among the stars. But as she builds her spaceship, she realizes that maybe Earth isn't so bad after all, even if it's filled with imperfect human families.
My name is Ashley. I'm 11 years old. I live in Melanchthon, and I chose the monologue of Marnie from The Remarkable Flight of Marnie McPhee.
Hello, Dan and Jennifer. Congratulations. We're thrilled to inform you that Ashley has been selected by our judges to advance to the final round of the Word of Mouth Monologue competition.
Are you serious?
I don't know what to say. The final will be a filmed event at which all the finalists will perform for the panel of judges who will decide on an ultimate winner. First place winner will receive $1,000.
I think it was good. I think I was projecting my voice well, and I was really nervous. Like I felt weak in the knees, but once I got going, it just all came out and flowed nicely, I think. At the rehearsals, I was pretty nervous, but I've been in this theater before, and I've been on the stage before with LP Stage Productions. Once I got back up there, then it went pretty well, and yeah, I felt pretty comfortable. If I won the prize, I don't know really what I would do with it. I'd probably just put it in my bank account and save it.
We're really grateful that this opportunity for the arts is being offered, and that Streams recognizes the need for drama and dance and the singing and the visual arts and everything.
Hi, my name is Ashley Robertson, and I'll be playing the role of Marnie from The Remarkable Flight of Marnie McPhee by Daniel Karasik. This is what I like to call a sticky situation. Allow moi to explain. Moi, that's French, because I'm Canadian. Je suis Marnie. Marnie McPhee, the free with glee, that's me. I like words that rhyme because I'm a poet. Professionally, like Dr. Seuss or Dr. Shakespeare. And not like an amateur poet who doesn't know grammar, which is something I know, because I'm a professional. At least that's my plan for when I grow up, which might happen. But that's when, if I'm older. Right now though, while I am the kid, I'm going crazy. Apparently I'm part of my family. This is a problem because my family is so weird. My mom runs around all day visiting my grandmother and buying groceries. And she never ever sings, which is sad because she could have become an opera singer and almost did before deciding to become a boring mom instead. My dad's an engineer, which doesn't mean he makes engines, which is what people think when they're 3, but not anymore because people get smarter. And all day long, he's got his nose in a book, and he's always telling me about the time he almost became an astronaut before deciding to become a boring dad instead. And then there's Alan, who's my older brother, but only because we have the same parents. Otherwise, we're not related. Alan is a boy, so he's gross, but also he's in love with a grown-up woman, so he's really gross and weird and also gross. Alan is 16, and the woman he's in love with, which makes him really extra gross, is 21. He doesn't get that if they get old, which might happen, she'll be like 127 when he's 22. And he's always whining about his gross, stupid love, and he never wants to play Marnie sits on Alan's head, which is a really good game. He'd rather mope and be a boring older brother instead. Don't you see? Don't you get it? If I'm part of this family, quote unquote mom, if it's true, if I'm like all of them and not from Mars, that makes me weird too. And it makes me doomed to grow up and be just like them. Weird like them. Unspecial like them. And for so long, I thought they were perfect. How could they let me down like this by not being perfect?
Up next is Amaranth's own Emily Moylan. Emily takes us into the world of Mala, from the Sultan of the Streets by Anusari Roy. When young orphans Mala and Chun Chun encounter brothers Parakash and Oja on the busy streets of Kolkata, they are immediately at odds.
My name is Emily. I'm 12 years old, and I live in Amaranth. My character's name is Mala from the play Sultans of the Street. My character is very bossy and sassy and sort of mean, so I thought I could play that pretty good. Well, my cousins were doing it at the start, and they had told me about it, and I said, well, that sounds pretty fun. And then they said, there's $1,000 if you win first, so I thought that would be pretty cool. I don't know what I'd spend it on. At the rehearsals yesterday, I think I learned a lot. I definitely learned that you gotta be really sassy and get into your character and just really turn into your character before you go. I've never been in a play or acted, done anything like that. I was really excited, a little bit nervous because I didn't think that I'd get this far, but I was pretty excited. Hi, my name is Emily Moylan, and I'm going to be playing the part of Mala from the play Sultans of the Street. You talk about her like that one more time, and I'll go to your school and tell every teacher what you're up to. Now, I don't want to stand here and argue when we have money to make. This is how this will work. I am the leader. You will both listen to me. I'll tell you exactly what to do. You'll do it, and you'll like it. No arguments, no questions. Tomorrow, you'll come back here and we'll do it all over again. We're not friends. We'll never become friends, ever. So don't even try. Good, let's keep it that way. Auntie wants us to make the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time. The best way to do that is to pick the people carefully but fast. Then choose something specific about them. What kind of dress they're wearing. Are they carrying a baby? Do they have a ponytail? Be specific and ask them about that. When they look at you, smile, be friendly, and keep talking. Don't talk to anyone who's in a hurry. If they don't want to give you money, threaten to curse them. Nobody wants to be cursed, especially by kids dressed as gods. So usually, mostly, sometimes, if not always, it works.
Next up is the fan favorite, Riker Williamson. Riker earned his spot in tonight's final during the public voting period of the competition, where he earned a whopping 611 votes. Riker takes on the role of the protagonist in 7 stories. The protagonist is standing on the ledge on the 7th story of a tall building, contemplating leaping to his death. He's interrupted by the colorful residents of the 7th story, who are too caught up in their own lives to notice him or question him on the ledge of the building.
My name is Riker Thurston Williamson. I am 11 years old. I was the protagonist in the play 7 Stories. I think I could have done a little bit better, like just if I could do it like a couple times, but I think I would be maybe 2nd or 3rd. At the rehearsals, I think I did a really good job. Andrew didn't really have a lot to say, like I don't really remember him saying anything, so yeah, but I think I could have done a better job. I did perform as the MC in the school play Mary Poppins. That's my only previous acting experience. Probably put it in a bank so I could get interest off of it. I'm probably gonna do it next year, but it was really fun just like memorizing, picking the monologues, so. My name is Riker Williamson. I will be playing the part of the protagonist, aka a well-dressed man, from the play 7 Stories by Morris Panich. You see, my faith in the days of the week has been seriously undermined. When I woke up this morning, I wasn't exactly sure what day it was, and for that brief moment, it was only a matter of seconds. I think it was seconds. I stood, or should I say lay, on very shaky ground. After all, how could I act with assuredness? How could I rise up and plunge headlong into Friday's world if it was actually Saturday? And so I lay completely still for a moment, pondering this question. That's when I noticed my hands. I never noticed them before, how they moved with amazing dexterity. But this flexibility, this movement of hands can never extend past the boundaries of its own flesh, can reach as far as the fingertips and no further, much as the movement of time is restricted by the days of the week. So I got up and tried to erase these things from my mind. I tried to get dressed. But then I began to understand other things. For example, the meaning of shoes. They were little prisons for my feet, absolute definitions of space. I could run 1,000,000 miles in any direction, and still not escape them. And my hat, forming a firm idea around my head as if to say, well, that's about the size of it. My mind could expand into infinite space and still never change the shape of my head. I saw in the mirror a condemned man serving a life sentence inside his body. Even the car I drove to work. My car, this thing, this instrument of liberation. It wasn't freedom. It was merely the idea of freedom, bound in metal. A kind of hope, but with spearmint attached to it. Now I was traveling an unknown route along a familiar road. It led in exactly the direction I was going, but not by coincidence. The asphalt was not laying itself a path in front of me. I was merely following a prearranged course, and then something happened. Something that had never happened before. When I finally arrived in town, on my usual space, it was taken. I was late for work, you see, and there was another car in my space. Someone had taken my space, you see. I sat in my car for a moment, not knowing where to go, just staring right ahead. And then I put my car into gear and drove into it. Drove right into this other car. There didn't seem to be any other choice, no place else to go, you see. So I put my car in reverse, backed up, and rammed into this car again. And again, and again, and again. Until finally, this other car, this intruder on my space, was smashed up against the side of the building like an accordion! So now I had my space back, and I parked. I got out of the car and turned to head for my office. That's when I realized it wasn't my space at all. Somehow, I had gotten completely turned around. This wasn't anywhere near where I didn't know where it was. I hadn't any idea. I'd always depended on the road which led here. The way I'd always believed that one thing leads to another. And then I saw this building. I thought I'd come up here to get better perspective on my exact situation. But from here, the view is quite clear. There are no places left, you see. I have no place to park my car.
Our final junior competitor comes to us from Mansfield. Audrey Hawkins takes on the role of Jennifer in the play The Patron Saint of Stanley Park by Hiro Kanagawa. Siblings Josh and Jennifer are coping with the loss of their father, who disappeared in a float plane accident on Christmas Eve 1 year ago.
My name's Audrey Hawkins. I'm 13. I played the role Jennifer from the play The Patron Saint of Stanley Park, and I live in Malmer. Well, I'm an actor, so I like a lot of things that are around that general, hobby, and I just kind of really wanted to do it because I like acting. Well, I was looking for something that was around my age and something that I think that I would personally like, and I read through a lot of them, and at the end of the day, I just decided on this one. I think I liked how it was a little bit sad. I was a bit surprised. I didn't think I was gonna be a finalist. So the rehearsals, I was really nervous, and then I did it, and then I found that it kind of really helped me with nervousness and anxiety about doing it in front of people. And that just generally helped me today, so that I kind of experienced it from the rehearsals the night before. So I feel really good about it. I didn't miss any lines, and I generally did not fumble, so I feel really good about it.
I've been angry, Dad. Angry at the world. At Josh being a dork, a pain in the ass. At Mom for completely being in denial. At you for leaving us. For ruining everything. For dying. And I've been angry at myself. For being angry. For hating everything and everybody. It's lonely. You wake up in the morning and you don't feel like you're really there. You're just watching everything and you can't believe the world's still going like it always has. You feel like such a loser. So tell yourself, it's everyone else that's the loser. I'm the only one that's real. I'm the only one that wants to be real. Some nights, I sit in my room for hours, staring at the window like I'm doing now. I stare at my reflection in the glass,
So my face turns different colors, and a tunnel grows out of my eyes, and I can see the way to whatever it is that's out there. I keep wanting to see you. I tell the shadows to become you. I tell the silence in my head to turn into your voice. But you never come, Dad. I can't help it, but I have these really bad thoughts. Like maybe you didn't crash, you didn't die. You just ran away. You went up north to an old patch and got a whole other family up there, and they're the ones that get to love you and be with you. I can see you eating breakfast with them. The orange juice on the table, how pretty your wife is, how perfect their kids are. You're sitting there smiling. You never think about us because you're so happy. And I start thinking, couldn't we give you that, Dad? Was our love worth anything? Then my eyes focus, or I blink. I hear the toilet flushing and Mom crying in the bathroom. I'm back in my room. And everything is the same as it always was. Everything is exactly the same.
Wasn't that inspiring? Regardless of tonight's outcome, I know that we'll be seeing some of these rising stars on bigger and brighter stages and screens in the years to come. Before we jump into our next category of performances, we'd like to share a little bit about who Streams Community Hub is, and would like to tell you just how you can help support our mission.
Different art forms allow the children, and of course adults, allow us as beings to express ourselves in really different ways. How we express our art form as a dance or as a poem or a piece of creative writing, musically, through visual art, and then all the different modalities within visual art of sculpture and oil pastels and chalk pastels and drawing with pencils. It really allows for a broad range of creative self-expression and a broad range for the children to, of course, express themselves, but also to learn about themselves.
I saw Andrew make a post on the Shelburne community group about one of the programs that they're running this summer, and I thought it sounded really interesting. So that led me to look into what other programs they had. And when I saw the Baking Bliss one, I thought, oh, that's going to be perfect for my guy. They were catering to ages 12 and up, which I think a lot of times those kids are the ones who are sort of forgotten when it comes to summer camps because they can tend to be left home alone. Winifred, who's the instructor, has brought a lot of knowledge and a lot of skill, and she's transferring that to the kids.
My kids are currently doing the Streams Camp, the circus camp, and I put them in because a couple of their friends were in it last year and they loved it. I was unable to get them in last year because it's so popular. It's just something different for them to do, and we are currently day 4 and they have loved coming every day. So much for them to do that they've never experienced before. We all know every child is different, and you reach different children in different ways, and the things that are offered in this camp are things that we just can't offer at school. So it's just something else for them to experience, a new skill for them to conquer, and just gives them a love of the arts that stays with them, that they love.
These are the programs in the public school system that are often cut through funding. So when there's nothing available, these are the things that go by the wayside. And a lot of times, children are more involved with sports or other organized activities, that these kinds of programs aren't the ones that parents look to. These programs are the ones that really, I think, create a lot of interesting pathways in the kids' brains. They're the ones that allow creativity to come out. They're the ones that allow kids to explore, oh, I didn't know I liked this, or I didn't know this was available, I didn't know this was something that was out there.
Everyone here seems really helpful. When my kids talk at the dinner table about what they have done at Streams, they say lots of different names of people who have helped them, and also it's kind of neat, they have kids who are, I'm guessing, in grade 7 and 8 who are also here as mentors to kind of show them the way to do things, and every day they come home with a new story.
It's important for me to volunteer because when I was growing up in Shelburne, there weren't a lot of camps that were centered around the arts. There was a lot of sports camps, but nothing really for the arts, so it's important for me to give back to that. It's a great opportunity to meet new people and explore yourself and also help young artists.
I'm getting all teary thinking about this amazing community that is offering so much to the youth. I'm like blown away. I've been an entrepreneur, a creative entrepreneur my whole life. The teamwork that is happening within the adults to make this dream a reality is so inspiring to me, and it takes a team. And Imaginarium, myself, has been invited to be part of this totally vibrant team that wants their community to be alive, that wants their community to be inclusive, that wants to offer the arts that's affordable.
I think it's an opportunity for the kids in a small community to have access to things that perhaps are only available in larger city centers. And these things are really important for the kids who are coming up now to get their hands into different activities and learn new things.
It really allows for kids from all different financial backgrounds to be able to be a part of belonging to a creative community. I am so blessed that I met Andrew and Julianne and have been invited to be a part of this community.
When you support Streams, you support the future. I think you're supporting children's creative futures, you're supporting community, because Streams is supporting the community. So by supporting one little facet of something that's available to our youth, you're in turn supporting everyone.
Learning new skills, meeting new people, creating joyful memories that have a lasting impact. So when kids come to camp, and maybe they've struggled through the school year, maybe school's not their thing, or maybe it is, and then they come to a camp where they've got all these different things to choose from, and it's affordable, and there are bursaries, and no one gets turned away that wants to be here. Like, that's magic.
Thank you for your support. Every dollar counts and goes a long way towards making room for more children and youth to be a part of a caring, creative community. In the next few months, we'll be moving from seasonal programming in borrowed spaces to year-round programming in our own 3,600 square foot lease space. So your support is more critical now than ever. If you can, become a monthly supporter to help us expand our reach and meet the needs of our shared community. All right, let's get back into these performances. There are just 3 contestants in this final category. First up, Naomi Cameron. Naomi has chosen the role of Jennifer in The Patron Saint of Stanley Park.
My name is Naomi Cameron, and I will be playing the role of Jennifer from the play The Patron Saint of Stanley Park by Hiro Kanagawa. I heard about this competition through my sister, who followed Streams Hub on Instagram, and she was the one that pushed me to actually find a monologue and read through it. I chose this monologue, The Patron Saint of Stanley Park, because it was the one that I felt portrayed the most emotions, and that's something that I really wanted to show that I could do to the judges. Yesterday at the rehearsal, I learned that everybody is feeling the same way. For me, I can't get the tears out, so I fake it, and so you choke up on your throat. And you breathe uncontrollably, and that's the key. And then I cover my face so that you don't have to see that there's actually no tears coming out. So if I won the prize, I think I would probably put it towards a trip to France. I'm actually feeling super nervous. There's a few other girls in my category that are doing the same one as me, and I haven't had a chance to see it yet. So I don't know if I'm going to be better or worse or the same as them. So I'm super nervous.
My name is Naomi Cameron, and I will be playing the role of Jennifer from the play The Patron Saint of Stanley Park by Hiro Kanagawa. I've been angry, Dad. Angry at the world. At Josh for being a dork and a pain in the ass. At Mom for like completely being in denial. At you for leaving us, for ruining everything. For dying. And I've been angry at myself for being angry, for hating everyone and everything. It's lonely. You wake up in the morning and you don't feel like you're really there. You're just watching everything. And you can't believe that everything is still going on like it always has. And you feel like such a loser. But you tell yourself it's everyone else that's the loser. I'm the only one that's real. I'm the only one that even wants to be real. Some nights, I stare out the window for hours like I'm doing now. I stare at my reflection in the glass until my face turns different colors. And a tunnel goes out of my eye, and I can see all the way to whatever it is that's out there. And I keep waiting to see you. I tell the shadows to turn into you. I tell the silence in my head to turn into your voice. But you never come, Dad. And I can't help it, but I have these really bad thoughts that you didn't die. You didn't crash. You just ran away. And you went up north to the oil patch. And you got a whole other family up there. And they're the ones that get to love you, be with you. I can see you eating breakfast with them. The orange juice on the table. How pretty your wife is. How perfect your kids are. And you're sitting there, and you're smiling. And you don't ever think of us because you're happy, and I start wondering, couldn't we give you that, Dad? We loved you too. Wasn't our love worth anything? And then I blink. Or my eyes focus different. Or I hear the toilet flushing. Or Mom's crying in the bathroom. And I'm back in my room. And everything's the same as it always was. Everything is exactly the same.
Our second finalist from this group is Jillian Young. Jillian is performing the role of Nessa from Tough Case by David Craig.
My name is Jillian Young. I'm from Orangeville, Ontario, and I'm 13 years old. My mom heard it on the radio, and that day she came home and told us about it. And we were like, yes, let's do it. Every night and day I work on reading it through and trying to memorize bit by bit until I got it fully memorized. I was so excited. We were at the beach when I found it, and I was so happy. I was like jumping up and down in joy. I've been practicing a lot, and I've got it memorized perfectly, so I know I'll do really good. At the rehearsal yesterday, I learned that I'm supposed to be sitting, acting like if I'm telling it to someone instead of like acting it. If I won the $1,000, I'd buy a stand-up paddleboard because I've wanted one for a long time. I feel very excited. I can't wait. I've never done something like this. This is my first time. Hello, my name is Jillian Young. I'll be playing the role of Nessa from the play Tough Case by David S. Craig. Here's the first thing I learned about punishment. When I was 6 years old, my mom was sick. So one Saturday, when my dad went to work, I decided to make her breakfast. I got out the frying pan and put in the eggs, the bacon, the Cheerios, and the olives. I didn't know which knob controlled which element on the stove, so I turned them all to high. I remember feeling happy because I was helping Mom. And then I remembered that she loved toasted marshmallows, so I put a whole bag over the red hot elements. After the fire trucks left, my dad came home. He was really angry. He said my mom and I could have died. I tried to tell him I was just trying to help, but he wasn't listening. And I was crying too hard to make sense. And I remember him lifting me up and pushing me down onto his knee and spanking me again and again and again. He said he needed to punish me so I would learn a lesson, and I did. I learned to be scared of big, angry men.
Our final contestant of the night is Alexandria Fazika. Alexandria couldn't be here with us for the live taping, but we captured her performance earlier this week. Alexandria will be playing the role of Jennifer from the play The Patron Saint of Stanley Park by Hiro Kanagawa.
I heard it on the radio, I think it's My FM in Orangeville, and my mom actually brought it up to me, and I thought, I'll give it a shot. Why not? We'll see how it goes. The most I've done is like speech competitions, but never anything like this before. Ever since I was little, I've always loved movies and acting and things like that. So as I got older, I was like, you know what? This is something I really want to do. So I thought I need something to get me seen. It would showcase voice, emotion, and it would kind of get me comfortable. It's not just you're happy all the time or you're sad all the time. It's like a roller coaster of emotions, and that's what I really, really liked about the character. I found out and I started laughing because I was like, I don't really know, like, how am I supposed to react about this? Because I've never had this happen before.
Okay, Alexandra, I want you to read the email I just got sent.
I kind of backed away for a minute and I broke into tears.
You did it!
I was really happy for this opportunity, and I was so happy that my mom heard it and she told me about it, and then I heard it. And I thought, who knows, this might lead to something more. So, fingers crossed for that. I've been angry, Dad. Angry at the world. At Josh for being a dork and a pain in the ass. At Mom for, completely being in denial. At you for leaving us, for ruining everything, for dying. And I've been angry at myself for being angry, for hating everything and everybody. It's lonely. You wake up in the morning and you don't feel like you're really there. You're just watching everything. And you can't believe the world's still going like it always has. And you feel like such a loser. So you tell yourself, it's everybody else that's a loser. I'm the only one who's real. I'm the only one who even wants to be real. Some nights, I sit in my room for hours staring out the window, like I'm doing now. I stare at my reflection in the glass until my face turns different colors and a tunnel grows out of my eye, and I can see all the way to whatever it is that's out there. And I keep waiting to see you. I tell the shadows to turn into you. I tell the silence in my head to turn into your voice. But you never come, Dad. And I can't help it, but I have really bad thoughts. I start thinking that you didn't crash. You didn't die. You just ran away. You went up north to the oil patch and you got a whole other family up there. And they're the ones that get to love you and be with you. I can see you eating breakfast with them. The orange juice on the table, how pretty your wife is, how perfect your kids are. And you're sitting there smiling and you don't ever think about us because you're happy. And I start wondering, couldn't we give you that, Dad? We loved you too. Wasn't our love worth anything? And then my eyes focus different. Or I blink, or I hear the toilet flushing and Mom's crying in the bathroom. And I'm back in my room, and I can't believe everything is the same as it always was. Everything is exactly the same.
Outstanding talent. Now it's up to our judges to deliberate. And while they do that, we'll tell you a little bit more about them.
David Nairn. David Nairn is the artistic director of Theatre Orangeville. Some of his most recent directing credits at Theatre Orangeville include A Christmas Story, Old Love, and On a First Name Basis. David is a proud recipient of the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal for volunteerism in our community. David is very proud and honored to be able to present artists and technicians of such exceptional, world-class caliber on the stage of Theatre Orangeville in the heart of Dufferin County. Kristen Gamache. Kristen has been studying dance, vocal performance, and drama since age 5 and has participated in many performances and competitions across Ontario and the United States. She is currently in her 5th year teaching recreational and competitive dance classes with Studio 3 in Orangeville and has been the resident choreographer with LP Stage Productions, Inc. for 11 years. Kristen has also worked with Brampton Music Theatre, Citrus Dance, Dance Fuel, Theatre Orangeville, and Streams Community Hub. She completed her jazz examinations through BATT and Anne-Marie's Dance Academy and was an assistant teacher for many years during her dance education. Jermaine Ransom. Jermaine Ransom is an actor, playwright, and director who has been speaking in schools across the Greater Toronto area for over 12 years. He was previously the Director of Education for an independent media company with whom he wrote and directed several high school performances that toured the Greater Toronto area and the United Kingdom. The Word of Mouth Monologue competition would not be possible without the support of our wonderful sponsors. First place awards provided by The Art of Storytelling. Based in Orangeville, Ontario, The Art of Storytelling specializes in audio, visual, and written communications for business, education, health, energy, and tourism sectors. From content to strategy, to production and social media distribution, your story is our mission. Town Teas. Town Teas is an emerging social enterprise that focuses on people over profit. We offer affordable, quality, custom apparel decoration services. A portion of the proceeds from every sale is dedicated to the support of youth and the arts in Dufferin County. Second place awards provided by Shelburne Family Chiropractic. Shelburne Family Chiropractic is working to support and heal families in Shelburne and the surrounding area by providing a caring chiropractic, wellness, and holistic patient experience while preaching the shared responsibility of health and wellness within the community. We care. Dufferin County Canadian Black Association. The DCCBA provides leadership for the continued development and enhancement of the Black community through civic engagement, education, programs and services, and advocates for equity and well-being for the Black community in Dufferin County. Special thanks to our other key sponsors: the Town of Shelburne for providing this beautiful location for the event, the County of Dufferin for helping us get the word out, media sponsors MyFM, Country 105, and Snap Dufferin, and Smart Organizing and Property Management.
Today, again, when I asked who wants to go out and do their confessional first. This person raised her hand and said, I'll go first. She was also, along with her sister, the very first to submit their monologues online. And so we have a special award for both Jillian and Jordan Young. Can you guys come to the stage, please? Jillian Young.
Goodness, thank you.
Jordan Young.
Thank you.
This is our, what we are calling First Out the Gates for you. First Out the Gates Award. Okay, this is the Bravery Award. So, put your hands together. The Bravery Award for being first. So thank you for that. There's one other special award. This is our fan favorite award. In our online voting stage that was open to the public, we had one contestant that had 611 votes. Please put your hands together for our fan favorite of 2021, Mr. Riker Williamson. Here you are, sir, and this is for you, sir. Thank you very much. Put your hands together for him again. We will start with our junior category. In second place, please put your hands together for Miss Audrey Hawkins. And our junior first place winner that's walking away with a beautiful award that was handmade by Timber Mill Studios in Orangeville.
And also
a $1,000 check. Please put your hands together for Miss Ashley. Our second place winner for our senior category will be walking away with a beautiful award as well as a check for $500. And the winner of that is Alexandria Fazekas.
Second place champion.
Oh!
And the winner of $500.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Oh, good stuff.
Okay. Our first place winner for the senior category for the word of mouth monologue competition.
First ever.
First ever. Drum roll, please. Put your hands together for Miss Naomi. So I could do the moonwalk like nobody's business in those shoes. Okay. No pressure. No pressure. No pressure. But here's the thing, right? I do the moonwalk every day in the house with Julianne's like, this is absolutely nothing. Like, I just go to breakfast like that, you know? Oh, breakfast, dinner time,